ILR is bridging the gap between labor and management.
ILR is an invitation to explore.
ILR is bringing business and people together.
ILR is changing the workplace and the world.
Cornell University was founded in 1865 in Ithaca, New York. The School of Industrial and Labor Relations was established in 1945 to help resolve conflicts between labor and management. Since its inception, the ILR School has offered on-campus degree programs while adhering to its mission of extension and outreach by offering training to working professionals in the workplace, not just in the classroom. The school offers undergraduate and graduate education within 6 academic departments: labor relations, law and history, economics, social statistics, international and comparative labor, human resource studies, and organizational behavior.
When you're in high school, you study all of these different subjects, and you may be interested in history and English and government. And what the ILR degree allows you to do is combine all of those interests and really take a holistic approach to your education. The way that people interact within the workforce, the way that employers and employees interact within the workforce, and even more importantly, what you can do to impact the workforce to allow greater productivity, greater equality, and greater leadership within it.
I think we're similar in some ways to a business school in terms of offerings and preparation, but we're also very different in the sense that we move beyond just company interests in thinking about the workplace. It's almost a more holistic view of what the workplace involves. So it's taking into account perspectives of labor, perspectives of society, perspectives of the law, as well as perspectives of management and business.
What is great about the ILR School is that you can define it in whatever way you want to define it. There are so many different areas within the ILR School that you can pursue and develop your interests in that I think the major means different things for different people.
You realize that there are endless possibilities. You can go to law school, you can go into human resources, you can go into finance or any type of business.
We're training students for positions on Wall Street in finance and consulting, in the corporate world, in the nonprofit world, in the healthcare sector, in education, in government.
I think Cornell University as a whole is a very interesting school. There are so many different majors, there are so many different things that you can study, and the ILR School allows you to have a focus but experience everything that you want in Cornell.
It is the most exhilarating academic environment that I've ever been in, and I have a law degree, an undergraduate degree, and an MBA, so that, that's saying something.
We learn about this whole thing in a very integrated way. I learn about labor, I learn about management, I learn about public policy, I learn about research. It's an integrated, intimate experience.
At ILR, we have a number of institutes. As well as the Work Institute, we have other institutes that look at things like compensation, workplace disabilities, conflict resolution. In all of these institutes, what we do is bring together world-leading researchers, students, both at the undergraduate and graduate level, and engage them with things that are going on in the world of work, and connecting to our outreach mission, where we work with people who are out there in practice, dealing with the current issues facing workers, organizations, workplaces, and public policy, both in the United States and around the world.
We've made a huge push at the ILR School to internationalize our students' education. It's important in so many ways. We find that it broadens their thinking, it opens them up to new opportunities and new possibilities in their careers. And by engaging in international activities, they also make themselves a lot more marketable. They differentiate themselves from other people who don't have this global mindset.
Since work itself is now distributed globally and jobs are moving from one country to another, it's really important for us to have our students understand completely different employment systems worldwide.
What traveling helps me do is take the principles I've learned in the class and apply them outside of the class and see how well what I've learned really affects people's lives. And seeing that play out is just really good for your level of maturity, your level of self-awareness. So when you come back to the States, you're able to say, well, we've learned about this principle in class, but this is how it actually plays out in the real world, day-to-day lives of individuals.
30 years later, after I've gotten out of the ILR school, when I have a business problem, when I have a business thought, the first thing that comes to my mind is my human resources, my human capital, getting the most out of my people, having a great work environment. All of those things are where my mind starts, because that's how I was taught to learn. That in learning, that's how I was taught to think. Those were the first things that came into my mind, and that's differentiated me versus somebody who just, I got an MBA at Stanford, they got an MBA at Stanford, they were an engineer. They don't even think about the human element, and at least in my business, really, that's where the value is.
This school can help create a foundation for you to be whatever you want to be.
Professional sports is probably the place where labor relations is most integral to the business. Sports, at the end of the day, is about labor, which is its product, and as a result, I think there's a natural fit between ILR and sports management.
The world needs leaders, and this school develops leaders. The world is full of conflict, and this school helps people learn how to resolve conflict. The world is concerned about jobs and workers' rights and social justice, and this school addresses jobs and workers' rights and social justice.
ILR is a business education focused on people.
ILR is preparing HR leaders.
ILR is a strong network of alumni.
ILR is social justice.
ILR is the next generation of change makers.